I just asked the world's biggest vintage Longines expert to choose just 3 vintage watches for a 3-watch throwdown. Matt, how'd you go?
Yeah, I think I did well. I think I picked 3. You also picked one of mine as well. So
I did. We crossed over on one, but we actually I chose 3 from Matt's collection. So there were no losers here. It's vintage Longines, wall to wall. Let's go. If you live in America and you're into watches, you have to check out Time+Tide. This is our new clubhouse, 460 Broome Street, Soho, in an emerging watch district. There's so many shops around here, but nothing like this. We're one level up above the street. It's super serene and calm. We have all the impossible to get watches from the internet here, as well as events and launches. Brands like Studio Underdog, Furl & Murray, Circa, Baltic, Christopher Ward, all the brands you've seen on your watch-loving friends' wrists are here to try on and to buy. And in the city that never sleeps, we don't either. We're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So come on down to Time+Tide, New York, 460 Broome Street, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll see you at Time+Tide, New York. I bloody love Longines, and I don't care who knows it. This is well known. I have been talking about how this brand is underrated, especially its archive, forever. And I have brought in my key witness for the prosecution is Matt Hanson from Vintage Longines. Matt.
Hi.
We battle again. This is going to be fun. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Good. I cheated by saying, Matt, bring in lots of watches, and we're going to have a 3-watch throwdown, and I'm just going to choose what I like out of your stock.
Cool, but I get it back at the end, right?
No, this is it. This is done and dusted. No, Matt is, you've got to check out this Instagram account, at Vintage Longines. It has been a source of so much inspiration, and I wanted to lead off by asking you if you could bring back any of the watches on your page right now.
Yeah.
No context, no questions asked. What would it be?
So it's one that you've picked, actually.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
This one?
Yeah, for sure.
The Flyback.
Flyback.
Okay.
It's
tell me why.
So
don't spend too long talking about my watch though. It's in my throwdown.
So for me, it's a totally iconic design. Mm-hmm. It's a true, pure sector dial.
Yep.
Which lots of brands have used in modern times and vintage. But this is truly one of the first. And it's also one of the first flyback chronograph wristwatches ever made.
Yeah.
It was made in 1935. And it still works, which to me is...
That's wild.
Crazy.
Listen to that crunchy crown. Delicious. So could you see this ever working as a reissue?
For sure.
Exactly?
For sure.
Okay. Well, Patrick, I know you well. I feel that I do after my amazing interview with you, one of the best CEO interviews ever. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to make something float here. Watch it. He is so passionate. You heard it from Matt. Mine is over here. I would like to bring back something I saw on Vintage Longines. By the way, this is a rabbit hole of a site. You need to go here. I want this one back. I want that.
It's not mine, but...
I know, but you had this on your page.
Uh-huh.
This is, to me, one of the eras of Longines heritage, like 70s sort of avant-garde design, shape design. It's a tonneau shape in a kind of a cushion, in a cushion outer shape. I just feel like this, with all of the heat on tonneau right now, for no reason other than I love the shape and I particularly love this.
So clean.
What do you think?
So clean. I think 70s Longines are pretty undiscovered and underrated.
Massively underrated. Massively undiscovered.
Most collectors are looking for stuff from the 30s to the 60s, the real golden age of Longines. But there is some really, really cool stuff that comes from the 70s as well.
Yeah, so this is a vertically brushed bezel, just so good looking. Just luxuriate in this B-roll briefly. Done?
Sure.
Let's get into the throwdown. You can start. Guest choice. What have you chosen to highlight as a Longines expert?
So first thing is Chronostop. Mm-hmm. So it's a constantly running chronograph.
Yep.
You can pause it briefly by pressing down and holding, but if you press too hard, it resets.
Right.
And it goes back to running again straight away. Size for me is
So it's kind
amazing.
of just a constantly running flyback.
Yeah. Exactly that. Size is amazing, 37.5 millimeters. And it's so clean, it's so sharp.
Yeah.
It's truly one of my favorite watches.
Look at this stepped case. It's just so, I mean, back in the day, tool watches, chronographs were not sort of that real large, muscular, bulky. They were always still elegant. Oh my God. That fits me like a glove. I'm taking this one too. This is superb. What year is this from?
1946.
1946. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So why did you choose this to be in your 3? Why is this in your top of all time?
So I've owned it for maybe 7 or 8 years, and actually sent it back to Longines to service. And they said, "Oh, we've got a new old stock dial.
Yeah.
Would you like us to put that on?"
Yeah.
And so of course I said, "Absolutely."
I was going to say this can't be.
Pristine,
this,
right?
this is absolutely mint. Like 11 out of 10.
And so they sent me back the old dial as well.
Are the hands original?
Yeah.
They're so perfect. Yeah. This is just, so I guess, Matt, when you actually meet with like Tudor Collector, Ross Povey, Matt, the pieces that they have are about as good as it gets. And everything about this is box fresh. It really takes you back. 46, my Lord. Well before our time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Looking better than both of us, I have to say. So that's your first choice. My first choice, I mean, I've gone for 2 watches. I'm a newbie vintage lover. Like, I only really come into the Longines story. My mother wore a Longines. I knew about the brand really early in my life, but it was only through some of the reissues like this military heritage or heritage military piece. I remember this one came out, had the blued hands, had the speckled dial, was a lot bigger. What size was the?
38.5.
38.5, and this is
32.5.
32.5. So this is much more era correct in terms of sizing. I actually love it in this size. Has quite long lugs, so the lug to lug's a lot bigger than you would think for a 32mm watch.
I always say that if you think a 32.5mm watch is too small for you, the guys that were wearing this, so the guy that wore this was in the back of a Lancaster as a rear gunner.
Wow. How do you know that?
So I bought it from the niece so it's from his niece. And I asked, do you have any history on the watch? And she said it was my uncle's. He was issued it in World War II, and then sent me his flight log with all of the flights he was on. He bailed out of a plane twice wearing that. So if you think 32.5 is too small, maybe that's a problem for you, not for the watch.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing tougher than those kind of stories. And it wasn't a big, bulky pilot's watch on his wrist. It was this beautiful little thing. And is that part of the appeal for you? Like, I get a rush thinking of the stories this watch could tell me if it could talk. When, like, it was in all those situations. Is that the appeal for you?
So I love the stories. I love the ownership. I don't necessarily wear all of these things.
Yeah.
I love owning them and having them. You go down that little rabbit hole and you find out some information, and that just, like, you just drive on with that, and then you find out these crazy stories. And I think that we have a duty as collectors to share those stories.
Yes.
Because so the guy that owned that was called Stan. He died the year I was born. If I didn't ask his niece that question, that story would have been gone forever. Crazy. It was on eBay.
So that's a birth year. It's sort of a birth year transition. It's not a birth year watch.
Yeah. So he died actually at a Pathfinder reunion.
Right.
He had a heart attack that night and died. And that was about 10 miles away from my dad's house.
No. That's
so all the things that sort of like link.
It's got full goosebumps. Yeah. And there's a connection to you. If you've ever seen this piece and you've seen the reissue with its speckled dial, you're going to be shocked now because that's connected to this piece.
Yeah. So at the time, the head of product, a good friend of mine, Xavier, he said to me, can you come to Saint-Imier and can you bring some watches with you?
Yeah.
So I took a bunch of watches, much like this, and we sat down in the meeting room and he said, so Matt, which one are we remaking?
Yeah.
And I was completely blown away.
Dream scenario.
And so I said, it has to be this one because of the story.
Yeah.
And he said, great, because that's the one we wanted as well.
Do you know what's cool about this as well? I can come in with my little story about this. When this was released, one of the real selling points of this watch was that every single dial was unique because of the speckled pattern. They actually had quite a random way of applying these paint specs, which I thought was a good selling point. That if you saw someone else with this watch, you would go and see that there's a different dial pattern.
Completely different. And so when they first sort of showed me the prototypes, Zav said, what do you think of this? Do you think we should do it or not? And as soon as I learned that everyone was unique, let's go for it. That's crazy. So cool. I think it's so cool.
That's a good selling point. Okay, I'm off to a strong start. I think I'm winning so far. Well, I don't know. That's up to you. But it isn't really competition because they're all your watches. They're just all awesome. It's a battle of awesomeness. What's in this little blue box?
So this is something quite special. New old stock. Oof. Never worn. Completely mint.
That's nuts.
Original strap, original buckle. The buckle was signed Longines on the inside.
Where did you pick this up? How did you get this?
So it's from a collector on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'd seen the watch and I'd messaged him and said, look, if you're ever selling it, just please let me know.
Yeah.
And so he messaged me. I said yes to his price straight away. And the watch arrived and I didn't realize it was new old stock.
No. Really?
I didn't realize it was brand new.
Because you can immediately tell there is just nothing on this.
And so the coolest thing about this is it's on the dial it says No-Mag. And so these were a small batch of watches, maybe around 12 or 13 currently known across all movements, 13ZN, 10.68, 12.68. And the No-Mag were pretty much exclusively delivered to China in the early 40s. They all have upgraded movement components to be anti-magnetic.
What did they make? Because it wasn't silicon back then.
Beryllium.
Beryllium. Wow. And how brittle or sort of...
that I don't know.
You don't know? Is the watch still functioning?
Yeah.
So it works. Okay. Yeah. Everything's at 10-10. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, give it a wink.
Yeah, okay. Always gives me a little shake. Yeah, okay.
So it's buttery smooth, right?
Oh, God. Where's my mic? Can you hear that? Yes. This is like watch lover ASMR. Yeah.
So you have Tre Taquet.
Your condition is crazy.
For me, one of the icons of Longines. The 3-notch case back with the stepped case.
Tick, tick, tick. Yep.
And the condition's incredible, and it's a No-Mag. Then you have the box, you have the buckle, you have the strap.
And you still do have just a little bit of unevenness in the way that the paint applied to the numerals has degraded over time.
Yeah.
So it's not actually completely new. It still has, each of the numerals has degraded slightly differently. But that is just a thing of beauty. And then, of course, the biscuity patina on the hands is stunning. So what year, 1940?
I think 41 or 42.
41, wow.
41.
And once again, we're seeing a consistency in the dial sizes of those times, which is why in the Legend Diver video that we just did now, like seeing a 42mm watch in 1959 or 1960, these were huge watches that were very much built for purpose. And these were built for the war. And yet, I mean, my eyesight's failing me at my current age in well-lit conditions, let alone a war. How would you have even seen what was happening in the back of a Lancaster in this or in the trenches in this?
It's really crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy. My turn. There's a theme emerging from my three. My second watch is a watch that I recall from another reissue, which is the Longines 1945, which has this stunning copper, or depending on your eyesight and your view of color, salmon, a vertically brushed salmon dial with a small seconds at 6 with blued hands. Now, this is another one that got the reissue treatment. Was this your doing as well?
No, this was before this was the 1945 was borrowed from Ben Clymer. Incredible watch. And I have the reissue, of course. Yeah. And
this is an inspiring, for a media person, this is an inspiring story that another media person could contact the brand and say, hey, I love this watch, and the brand would consider reissuing it.
Yeah. For me, in collecting, it's right up there with the coolest things that I've been involved in. Yeah. For sure.
So my rationale with my 3-watch throwdown is military watch, dress watch, and then one more that I'll come to. You've gone chronograph, military watch. Yeah. What's your third?
Third is 18 karat gold 30CH.
Yeah.
So flyback chronograph. This was produced from the late 40s, I think 47, all the way through until the early 60s.
Yeah.
And so this is what came after the 13ZN.
Yeah.
For me, this is one of the sort of more new watches to my sort of collection. And you always have that like honeymoon.
Yes, you do.
That sort of period where you're totally in love with something. And the condition of the case is great. The dial is great. I love the small pushers. They're so unique. It's such a
quite dainty, aren't they?
Yeah. So it's a really interesting design. And you have this sort of bevel on the lugs. The quality of the case is outstanding. And the movement's incredible as well.
And this sits at that intersection of a tool watch and a dress watch, because this is definitely not for duty. This is for, I imagine, can you imagine what would have been worn with this? What year is this from?
52, I think.
Yeah, mid-century. Everything about this is that elegance that we love from the mid-century, in terms of, you can imagine how beautifully dressed the wearer of this watch would have been in the mid-century. Again, condition, these hands, these faceted hands, just superb. Applied indices, applied numerals. Yeah, absolutely lovely. And again, Longines probably emerging from that military era and taking some of those codes of chronographs and tool watches and putting them into a different context in gold. Who buys this watch in the 50s? Because it does have tool heritage. Like, the reason I chose this is it speaks to the dress origins, but who buys this watch?
I mean, so it is a flyback chronograph. So, I mean, you can imagine maybe a pilot or a race car driver, maybe not for
Maybe not
use
their
during
tool.
racing, not for their tool, but you know, you want a nice watch for the evening as well.
Yeah.
And you love the idea that you have a chronograph for the day and for the evening maybe. But also waterproof.
Yes.
Which was another, Longines were the first company to make a waterproof chronograph. And so, yeah, I guess someone who had a bit of money as well, because they weren't cheap.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the thing. Again, Longines, the history, the achievements, the number of firsts that this brand has it's a list that goes far longer than any other brand. I promise you that. Lastly, for me, I have become quite infatuated with the new Longines Spirit Flyback. And I like the fact that it speaks to a real heart and soul territory for Longines, which is not only chronographs, but flyback chronographs. What is it about Longines and chronographs? I mean, the 13Z is known as one of the most beautiful chronograph movements ever, as well as being one of the most consequential. But how would you describe in a few words the connection?
So I think the really important thing to remember is that when these watches were made, individuals were contacting the brand, asking them to make these complications.
Yeah.
Whether it's Lindbergh and Weems for aviation.
Navigation instruments.
And so people were contacting and saying, look, can you do this for us?
Yeah.
Can we make this? And it didn't exist elsewhere. So Longines made it.
Oh, good Lord, come on. Even with what I'm wearing, this is a 10.
So yeah, this is one of the first flyback chronograph. Produced in 1935. Longines patented the flyback chronograph in 1936.
Yeah.
So this was made
Predates it.
before patent. And currently there's only, I think, 3 known in steel.
What is this going to set me back? If I just said, I've got cash, let's make a deal.
No.
Okay, that was great.
That's the answer, right?
Thanks for watching. But is there a ballpark? Like, what are we getting into? Because again, you think about Patek collectors, Jean collectors. Yeah. You know, you're obviously astronomical prices. There's probably a spectrum of where you can get in on this action. So this is the top, right? We're talking expensive.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, there's only 2 other known.
How much is it? No. That's our promo.
How much? No.
Yeah.
So one of the other ones is owned by Goldberger. So Arrow has one of the other ones. Or had, at least. I haven't spoken to him recently about it. But so, I mean, personally, I wouldn't even consider anything less than 6 figures.
Yeah, wow. Yep.
It's a irreplaceable piece of watchmaking history.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'd have to talk to the brand, wouldn't you, about if you were going to release it, because that is absolutely stunning. And I think it probably speaks to the popularity of some of the brands in our Discovery Studio. They really take those kind of bicompax chronographs, and you know, the aesthetic is so appealing even today.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, well, that wraps it up. We have 6 watches on the table. Matt's been very kind and generous in not only bringing them in, but letting me pretend that these were my 3 choices. There were more I could have chosen from, but I felt like there was some semblance of a structure to mine. Yours are just 3 absolutely awesome pieces. Matt, what is the Longines advantage? You talked about it in the first video, but what is it that just gives you that feeling that you don't get from other brands?
Yeah, I mean, so it always comes back to the archive.
Go to the archive. Go to the archive.
Knowing that you can check your serial number of your movement against the case number, and often the dial as well. So they can tell you when that movement was cased, who made the case, where it was made, which country it was delivered to. Yeah. And then they can also tell you, sorry, this watch has a black dial, originally your watch had a white dial. Yeah. So you can really sort of nail down and confirm.
This is something that is actually resourced at Longines. You can do this yourself right now. Any Longines you have can be traced back, and that there's a good process that's in place. Some brands are quite slow and creaky when it comes to this. You can contact their heritage department, and 3 years later you get an answer. And often that answer is We don't know.
I think the fastest I've had with Longines was about 15 minutes.
Wow. But I think Matt might have a slight inside track there. Yeah. Matt, thanks again. What do you think about this kind of, I suppose, heritage obsession that some people have? Are you in there? Do you get it? I get it. I'm nowhere near as obsessed with you, and I'm not as singular as you. I don't see it all in one. And again, all of these watches are linked back to modern watches for me. So I'm kind of early in my vintage days, but I know a lot of you are so interested in brands that have legitimate provenance and history and probably a little bit unsung. You know, Watch Fred from Breitling's another man that I think is just, these people are absolute gems. They are preserving their heritage, celebrating it, beautiful photography on vintage Longines. Check it out, vintage Longines. I'm either going to edit that or just let I've got to redo that. I've been schooled by enough commenters. Matt, thanks again.
You're welcome.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been great fun. Thank you.
Patrick, Mr. CEO, this is the one. Let's bring this back. See you on the next video.